Welcome back, it's time for another Thocking video. This time it's my first impressions of the Melgeek Mojo60 Moss. Please keep in mind that this is just the first impressions video of the out of the box stock feel of the keyboard and not the post mod completed project, so just Thocking relax. This is the Melgeek Mojo60 Moss. If you don't know, Moss, much like Mother in Alien or Jarvis in the Iron Man, was the AI computer system for the spaceship in the movie The Wandering Earth, a Chinese movie released in 2019. Like so many AIs that came before it, it was hell-bent on killing people and being in charge. I bought the keyboard for two reasons and in spite of another. First, the Melgeek Mojo60 Moss just represented a rare opportunity to own an official sci-fi movie keyboard, and in this case, a movie that I really enjoy. Don't get me wrong, it's no Blade Runner or Aliens, but I find it seriously good. Second, I actually really love the look of the keyboard. The themed SA keycaps are a big selling point for me, as I've never had SA keycaps before, as was the text and graphics on the case. Most of the time you don't want in-your-face text and branding on the case, but when it's a theme, that's exactly what you do want. Third, the reason I probably shouldn't have bought it but did, in spite of it being a pretty big one, is that there seem to be a lot of poor reviews for Melgeek keyboards about. The most reputable website I can find where they sold through a group buy of Melgeek keyboards was the Mojo60 Ember on Drop. Now the case material is undoubtedly different to mine, as it's smoky, transparent in one iteration and a mirror finish on the other, but you'd expect the quality to be similar. So far that keyboard has 6 reviews on Drop and it comes out in an epic fail with less than 2 out of 5 stars, with one review saying, and I quote, "This keyboard is like typing on a Fisher-Price children's toy, ouch," and I kinda have to agree. There is no getting away from the fact that the keyboard feels very cheap and hollow out of the box. I was in two minds about whether there was just too much unoccupied space in the keyboard or whether the plastic was poor quality. I guess time will tell on that one. It's hard to describe just how much worse this keyboard was out of the box compared to my other keyboards like the iQnix and the Durgod. But like I say, it's also my first time with SA keycaps, so that may have been a contributing factor. And it also had all the usual stock issues. The stabs are dry as a bone and rattly, even though the rattly on a hollow ball with SA profile keycaps sounds different to any other keyboard I've experienced. It's still not a nice sound or feel. The switches need lubing, not just because lube switches are dope, but because the keyboard needs the volume turned down, and lube obviously helps with this. Next is obviously the lack of dampening. It's so hollow. The fact that it's such a chunky boy makes it feel even more hollow. And also the stem wobble feels excessive for some reason. I've had cherry browns before and it never really bothered me. Not to say that it's not there, but it never really bothered me before, but here there is definitely an issue. This being my first time getting my hands on a keyboard with SA profile keycaps, I soon realised that a set of SA keycaps on a keyboard that has some shortcomings in its stock form is only going to be made worse by SA keycaps. The extra height makes the stem wobble feel worse than the cherry profile keycaps. The increase in the unoccupied space in the keycaps makes the hollow sound of the keyboard even worse. It really is as if the SA profile keycaps just amplify the shortcomings of the keyboards in terms of sound and feel. All the above does make me excited to mod it, however. I have big plans for the keyboards, which will include dampening the bottom case and in between the plate and PCB, swapping out the Cherry MX Browns for lubed Durock T1s with switch films, and lubing the stabilizers. I'm excited to find out if the SA profile keycaps will then amplify the good qualities in the board, provided I can do a decent job of modding it. I also have to mention the RGB lighting. To be fair, at the moment the keyboard has cherry browns without the RGB sort of housing, top housing on the switches, so it's hard to tell if this is causing the RGB dullness. It's virtually invisible during the day, but we'll see how much better it is with switches with a clear top housing after the mods. To see as big an improvement as possible on this front, I have the Durock T1s with the clear, not smoky housing come in. Bluetooth connectivity works flawlessly and came with all the usual extras in the box, like a keycap puller and a cable, so the final rating of the keyboard really depends on whether I can make something decent out of it. My final thoughts of the keyboard in the stock form are that while I do appreciate pre-built keyboards turning up and being awesome out of the box, I'd be lying if I said the out of the box stock feel and sound of this keyboard is really a big problem for me. I'm not in this hobby just to buy awesome keyboards, use them for a month and then put them on display. I want to have things to improve, and to be honest, I just see this keyboard's shortcomings in the stock experience as an opportunity to turn it into something awesome. I won't be changing the look of this themed keyboard, as that would be stupid. It's a Wandering Earth keyboard and I want it to stay that way. I do look forward to making it feel and sound significantly better though.